What's up again? Here we go, the mental game, presented by Brent Edmonds and the Academy. And I mean, none of this stuff is mine. Just to make it clear, this is stuff that I learned. I'm gonna be going through the PowerPoint. You're probably thinking like, hey, I already bought the PowerPoint. I added it onto my order originally, and I got both. So what's going to be a difference? Well, I'm going to be going over every single point, because if you added it onto your order, which I don't have a way to get that to you, but we're going to be going over every single point right here. Just going over the key concepts. We're going to view the video to start. We're going to watch through it. So if you did everything to this point, you should be golden. Okay, you should be watching and reviewing what Evan Longoria does, all those key points that were talked about. Okay, and one guy that was super good and makes a great living off of teaching the mental game is Brian Kane, and he's a great sports psychologist. I left the link in your members area for his book. It's right off Amazon. I highly suggest that book. It's very easy read. I mean, I read it in a couple hours, but I mean, it changed my game from a mental standpoint and my overall performance just from a couple hours of reading. And the entire book is there. I mean, I don't have the hard copy anymore. I used to have the hard copy. He gave us a copy of his book when he came and presented at our school. I think I lent it to a player and he forgot to give it back. But you can also get it on a Kindle, which I got on a Kindle right now. So I mean, anytime I want to view it, I can still view it. And so you got those options. You got the hardback or the paperback, which are a little bit more expensive. Kindle is cheaper. So it's either free or it's going to be $10 to purchase, which that's like nothing to be able to change your game. So let's hone in right here. Let's get the mental game down. And both these videos are going to be the same. It's going to be a review of all the points from the starter and the prime pack. This video, if you're watching it right now, you're going to see it again in the prime pack. Okay. The power behind the mental game is no joke. Don't leave the chance. Okay. And we are going to make sure we get it down once you start getting better. Okay, we're going to pound these points. Okay, because you do the points that are going to be shown, you're going to see a huge difference in your game. And this is where, this is what everybody wants to get to. Okay, but not being able to hone in on the mental game. I mean, I had a super talented ball player. Well, he came to me. He was in our organization. Okay, he wasn't on my team. He was on the Better 15U team at that time. But then he got held back the next year. I'm telling you what, I looked at him. I'm like, we had our exit interviews. I'm like, first off, your talent level, there's no reason you should have been playing on my team. At 15 years old, I mean, you should have been playing 18U ball. But the only thing that was in your way was right there. Okay? And that's what led to his inconsistency, because he got too high. He had high standards, and he wanted to live up to those high standards. And there's nothing wrong with having high standards, but you got to be able to hone it back and realize that that stuff. Some of the stuff in the game happens. Okay, strikeouts are going to happen. You're going to foul pitch off that you should have pounded. Just certain things holding him back within his own head that led to some inconsistency. And he played on my level. I mean, he was an unreal athlete. I mean, a speed skater on the junior Olympic team. A really good catcher. I mean, great form, great arm, really good shortstop. really good bat too when he swung and got after it in certain counts. But I mean, he swung at bad pitches a lot, and then we got him out of that, and then he was also taking some pitches and getting himself into bad counts when he wasn't a bad count hitter at all. So he truly didn't know what his game was. And he was such a fluid fielder, he had all the tools. I hope he's doing great right now, because he did leave after the first year with us to a different organization, a little bit better. I mean, we're developmental, and he wanted to go play with, his level guys, which with him was totally fine. I mean, he needed a little bit of development, but he needed to be with those type of players to get better. Okay, does that make sense? And I hope he's doing well, and I hope he's got the mental side of this game mastered, because I mean, the sky's the limit for him. He's got so much potential at this game. So let's go into the Evan Longoria video. I'm not going to really talk too much during it. I'm just going to let it play through. I want you to watch some of the things he does, taking a deep breath, focusing out. I think it's been a while since I've last seen it, just like Jimmy Rollins' video. But I believe he did the batting gloves, the unsnap, does the wipe away, okay, and then watch some of the mannerisms and some of the things that they talk about. So let's go over to the video. So we're going to go through the PowerPoint, okay, so mental side, and now we're going to go to the Evan Longoria video, and play.
Alright everyone, let's get it going. Jeremy, what do you got?
A guy who 16 months ago had never played in the major leagues, but now he's been elected to 2 All-Star teams, won the Rookie of the Year award in the American League unanimously, and many people in baseball are saying that he has the potential to be the best ever at his position.
Where was he a year and a half ago?
That's the thing that makes Evan Longoria in a lot of ways so special. I mean, he really did come out of nowhere in a sense. Not only was he not drafted out of high school, not only was he not recruited by a single Division I baseball program, he was barely recruited by Division III, which doesn't award scholarships.
What changed for him?
Well, he'll tell you the most important thing that changed for him was his mental maturation.
Walk slow to the plate. Remember your breathing.
There's a drive. Deep down the left field line.
Stick with the approach. Keep the routine going.
Takes that one to left field, and it is deep. Way back.
Get into the game. Don't worry about the result.
He's to left field. How far is this one gonna go? Evan Longoria with a monster blast.
What goes on in the mind of Tampa Bay Rays third baseman Evan Longoria has helped him emerge as one of the game's highest profile young stars. The focus, the sense of calm, the faith in process, they're all essential components of his makeup.
Everybody says the same thing to me. They watch him go up to the plate, holds the bat like he's sleeping, until he explodes at the ball.
Evan Longoria drives the first pitch into right center field and deep, tosses it back to the wall. It's off the right tank, a home run.
At the age of 23, Longoria is already a 2-time All-Star. His highly developed mental approach to the game, not to mention his willingness to discuss it, distinguishes him from his peers. It also gives him an edge.
To us, it looks like it just happens naturally, but there is a method. His ability to be in the present moment makes him one of the best. When the pitch is being thrown, he's already forgotten about last at bat, and all that exists is this particular pitch, and this particular pitch is coming to me right now.
I see a lot of guys who have a lot of physical ability but don't have enough up top to be able to control certain situations, or some guys don't really buy into the whole mental training side of baseball, I guess. But for me, I've been doing it for so long that it's something that I trust.
Longoria has been doing it for 5 years. Before then, there was no reason to believe he'd develop into a major leaguer. In 2003, when he graduated from high school, 1,480 players were selected in the baseball draft. He wasn't one of them, nor was he recruited to play Division I college baseball. Did you deserve to be overlooked when you were coming out of high school?
Definitely. Yeah, I wasn't good. I mean, I knew the game. I enjoyed playing the game. As far as ability and talent, I wasn't a professional player at that time.
To continue to play the game, Longoria enrolled at Rio Hondo, a junior college just a few miles from his hometown in Southern California. After hitting .430, Longoria transferred to Division I Long Beach State. There, he was introduced to the theories of Ken Ravizza, a professor of kinesiology and author of several books on sports psychology.
The essence is the idea of learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable and having something to go to when the garbage hits the fan, because the garbage will hit the fan, and let's be ready for it.
More than anything else, Ravizza preaches the gospel of mental preparation and structure. He teaches players to recognize failure as an unavoidable part of the game and how not to dwell on it. In the last 2 decades, he's been a paid advisor to several college and major league teams. At Long Beach State, his most apt pupils included Longoria and his teammate Troy Tulowitzki, now in his 3rd season with the Colorado Rockies.
Ken Ravizza, he's done a lot of good things for me and Evan. It's all about relaxing, taking your breaths, and just making sure that the game's not moving too quick.
When you first were exposed to Ken's teachings, even you said, come on, this stuff can't really work. What was the turning point, you think?
We started playing in a lot of stadiums where there was a packed house, or the pressure was on, and that's when I started to realize when the game becomes more of a mental grind, I needed something to go to.
How do you think those theories helped him?
I think it calmed him. I think the mental game really helped him, and how he was way balanced after bad at-bats or bad games.
As Longoria matured physically, his mental training allowed him to maximize his talents. He emerged as a top prospect in the summer of 2005, when he was named MVP of the Cape Cod League, a traditional breeding ground for high draft picks. In the 2006 draft, 3 years after failing to be selected at all, Longoria was the 3rd overall pick.
The Tampa Bay Double Rays select Evan.
How did he get so much better so quickly?
I think his openness, that it didn't come easy, that he went through the rejection, and he was willing to take the risk to grow versus playing it safe all the time.
Longoria's mental maturity helped convince the Rays that he could be the cornerstone of the franchise. Just 6 games into his major league career, they signed him to a 9-year contract worth up to $44.5 million. Coincidentally, Longoria had found another true believer in Rays manager Joe Maddon, a longtime proponent of the Ravizza method.
What Ken does is it's an attempt to make you think in a different or more clear way, controlling the controllable aspects of playing this game.
Every time I see Evan, it's hello, and what do you got for me today, Ken? When you're putting on the batting gloves, put on the batting gloves. When you step into the box, be in the box. Be where you need to be when you need to be there.
Swing and rocketed into left center field. That's going to roll all the way to the warning track.
There is a zen-like quality to Longoria's focusing techniques.
Ken talks a lot about the focal point. If I make an error in the field, or if I swing at a pitch in the dirt at the plate, and I really feel like, I've lost control of either my emotions or the at-bat, that's when I step out. I always look at the left field foul pole, at the top of the left field foul pole.
Wherever you are, just
because I know there's always going to be a top of the left field foul pole. So,
and it works for you.
It works for me.
Even when he's not in the lineup, Longoria follows a mental routine. He'll slide on his batting gloves and imagine himself at bat. when he is playing, rituals help him relax and focus.
But let's say, for example, here comes his pitch. He fouls it off. He will step out of the box. He'll undo his gloves, release that pitch, grips the gloves back on, steps in the box, and he's back.
Where do you draw the line between what you think is superstition, what is habit, and what is really about focusing?
There are so many weird things that us baseball players do that it would be classified all as superstition. But, I think superstition would be, if my mind was all messed up when I got to the plate if I didn't do that.
And it's not that.
No, it's not that at all.
Not everyone attributes Longoria's success to his mental focus. There's his work ethic, his bat speed, and another undeniable factor. Your buddies out in California that we spoke to said that they thought it was actually a big moment in your career and development when Eva Longoria became famous.
It seemed like everywhere I went, that was the only thing I heard for 2.5, 3 years now. But it kind of got my name out there. Whether it was Eva or Evan, obviously they remember the last name.
What I understand, last year she got you a bottle of champagne when you made the All-Star team. What did she get you this year?
Nah, she gave up. She gave up on me.
In the 2008 World Series, the chant Eva, Eva floated through the air in Philadelphia. Whether or not the taunting bothered him, Evan Longoria went 1 for 20 against the Phillies.
It could have been the pressure that I was putting on myself. It could have been the outside distractions that I let get to me, and I look back now and kind of kick myself in the butt for that. Things kind of sped up on me. I think that was part of the whole experience for me too. It's just learning those feelings.
He gets upset, but he's got some tools that he uses, and he knows that's part of the game. And then this goes back to his background where it didn't come easy. He had to struggle at times.
From undrafted and unrecruited to the All-Star game and the World Series. It's been a quick trip for Evan Longoria. Now comes the hard part, maintaining focus. Do you think there will be a day when you don't need a focal point, when you don't need the mental exercises that you do?
No, I don't think there will be, because as soon as you start believing that in this game, you'll get humbled in a heartbeat. I'll always have that to kind of keep in the back of my mind, and when I need it, use it. Get rid of those negative thoughts. Get back to the moment. Prepare to get a hit.
Alright, so most of the things that I mentioned, like, you got to go through the failures. And just like they mentioned with Evan, he needed the failures to be able to grow. Okay. And then he failed in the World Series against the Phillies. But that was a learning point for him. So if he gets there again the next time, he's going to know how to react to it. And he's going to have a stronger mental game leading up into that. The snapping of the batting gloves, you can do the wipe away. I will give an example of how pitchers can be able to do this. They show it mostly out of the box, and then, when we talk routine, which should be in one of the lessons, I can't remember which one, but talks about the mental game, taking a deep breath. I'm going to show you how to do it as a pitcher, okay? And create your own routine. Create your own. Just use some of these tools to help you. Okay. So let's go back to the PowerPoint, because the big thing is within the PowerPoint, I want to talk about the green light, yellow light, red light. Okay. So again, Brian Kane, one of the greatest sports psychologists around. He actually worked with Ken Ravizza, who was in that video. And, his picture of his book right there, and, that link is right there for you. Okay, so we really covered this one in depth. So baseball is 90% mental. Okay, you gotta make sure. Let's see if I can blow this up for you. There we go. Let's see if it. There we go. So baseball is 90% mental. Leaving it to chance. I mean, that means you're leaving it 10% to have success. If you don't trust in the mental game. Like Evan mentioned, the game just seemed fast to him. So it helps you to slow the game down. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a hit or throw a strike every single time, but it improves your chances at being consistent. And that's exactly what your coach wants. Okay? So that point right there, I mean, this is not telling you that you're going to go 10 for 10 and then 20 for 20. Your next 10, you're going to be 30 for 30. It's impossible. Okay, you're going to make outs, you're going to hit it right at the person, but if you have a good at bat, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Helps build up your confidence levels. I mean, look at Evan. Went from unrecruited to a JUCO college to a D1 to being in the pros and playing in the World Series. All because of the mental game, and the confidence just grew. Help lower your anxiety levels through your breathing. Every baseball player must acknowledge that baseball is a game of failure. Okay, failing 7 out of 10 times is success. Okay, so things that you cannot control: umpires, pitcher, weather, your coach, teammates, the crowd, etc. Okay, but you can control your routine, your mechanics, your game plan, and your approach. And you heard Evan mentioning those in the video. Okay, more concerned with the result more than you'll ride the emotional roller coaster. You don't want to ride that emotional roller coaster. Be too high one time, then come back down the hill. Be too low. You want to be even keeled the entire time. Okay, and then create a routine to keep you in the present moment. So it is your routine. These are just tools to help you develop your routine. Alright, next one. We're not going to go over the summaries. We're going to skip right over those. You can view those at another time. Just go back through the powerful points. You can pause it right on these moments if you need the summaries. Okay, just to be able to write down. Okay, or you can pause this. Present moment. So biggest thing are the two highlighted things. Breathing. Okay, your breathing needs to be into your nose. Okay, so like 5, 8, 10 seconds. Or I mean, probably 4 to 5 seconds. And then slowly out through the mouth. This is delivering the oxygen to your muscles to help you relax. It clears your mind. Okay. CO2 robs your body of the oxygen. Okay, so if you're holding it in and you're not breathing it out, you're tiring yourself out. You need the oxygen. Okay, it helps keep your mind straight. Okay, if you've ever held your breath for too long, you notice that your mind starts to wander a little bit. I would not suggest you do that on your own. I mean, if you want to, you can. Just try it out. But your mind starts to wander. Okay, different negative thoughts start to wander through your head. Okay, one pitch at a time. So get back to one pitch at a time. That was mentioned in the video with Evan Longoria. Okay, playing it one pitch at a time. Okay, you swing and miss, you already focus on the next pitch. Okay, and then it's for your arousal regulation. Okay, so if you're too high, you start getting tense. If you're too low, you're too relaxed. Both of them, the game looks fast and out of control. Okay, you want to be right in the middle, controlling it through the mental game. Okay, the next one's going to be a summary. So, I mean, you can either pause it, write down these notes right here, or you can go back through, you know, the PowerPoints that were presented to you through your original purchase. I'm not going to read this all, but the self-talk is super important. You know, I even watched a video of this dad. This little boy was trying to, you know how the Ninja Warrior courses are, that they got like the quarter pipes, the high quarter pipes that you try to get up and you get to the top, you get your grip and then you climb up. Well, he kept failing, and he was getting tired. His dad sat him down, had this positive self-talk, had him repeat what he was saying. He was saying like, I am powerful, I can do this, different stuff, like nothing but positive. And then the very next one he did it. Okay? So everything that you say to yourself needs to be positive. Okay? The second you say, because when you start having negative thoughts, you bring those negative thoughts to life. Okay? The positive thoughts, guess what? It's the same thing. You bring them to life. Okay? So it's so counterproductive to be negative. Okay? It's self-demeaning. It produces stress. Okay? It creates your anxiety. Okay? The mind starts to wander. And when you're not focused, the positive self-talk gets you to focus. Gets your concentration level back. Okay? Again, with the self-talk summary, you can pause it right here, take your notes, or go back. Okay? This is what I wanted to cover right here. And I'm going to give the example of pitching. Okay? All of it is within deep breath. Okay? The green light, yellow light, red light. This is you recognizing where you're at on this platform. Okay? It's like a stop sign. Green means everything's good to go, everything's safe. Yellow means you need to have a little bit of caution. Okay? You need to start slowing down. When things seem like they're a little bit tough at the time, you need to start slowing it down, and you need to evaluate the situation. Kind of like a traffic light. If you're going to run it, you need to be looking to see if anybody else is coming and all that. You know, if that person that's in the left turn lane is probably going to try turning through. And once you recognize that, you got to get yourself back to the green light. Okay? Once you're in red light, you're pretty much coming out the game. Okay? That's when you're absolutely out of control. And that's when accidents happen, occurs. Speaking of cars, and where was I going with that? Because I had like a little hiccup right there. So red light, you are absolutely out of control. That's when, like, if you let an error get in the way, if you let a bad call by the umpire and then you show it either with your body language or you're verbally saying it. Okay. Yellow light, you can start really seeing it in the body language. Okay. Green light, if you remain in green light, I mean, you could be in yellow light and you'll never know. Okay, and that's where you want to be. Okay, I will show that here once we get to the PowerPoint. Okay. Imagery and visualization. I mean, you've heard me say that. You know, just within doing some of those drills, within your dry work, you know, visualizing, like you saw, even in Evan Longoria, you saw an MLB player doing it. Okay, he was imagining, visualizing, and practicing his mental routine, and visualizing his at-bat in case he was getting the game when he wasn't in the game. Okay. When you imagine it, you start seeing it, and the results come with it. Okay. The benefits of imagery is that it lowers your stress level and your anxiety levels, builds up your confidence, so when you get in the game, you're prepared, you concentrate better, you're in control, especially of your emotions. Okay, it can be used for a rehearsal of a new skill. Okay, aka doing in your dry work. Okay, Like I said, I like the example I've given was I used to pretend I was hitting off Justin Verlander. Okay. You're prepared for that particular moment and that at bat. It boosts your motivation levels. Excuse me. This is not planned right now. I just kind of swallowed down the wrong pipe. It improves your positive thinking and shortens your recovery time, especially during an injury. So it's virtually, you're still imagining yourself being back on the field. You're taking those mental reps. So when you come back, so you're going to be pushing through your PT. You're going to be pushing through to be able to get back, from surgery, from, if you're injured, didn't need surgery, you're pushing through your rehab. Okay? And a good story about that is, I used imagery one time. The one key time. I mean, I threw a 9-inning complete game, gave up 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 run was unearned. I mean, fun game. But before that game, because I was pitching the second game of a doubleheader, the entire first game I was doing the mental reps. I was imagining myself pitching a perfect game. Okay, me doing that allowed me to go out there and be strong for 9 innings for my team. Didn't give up a whole lot of hits. And did what I needed to do. Was it realistic to throw a perfect game? No, because I've never thrown a no-hitter in my life. But it was just the fact of seeing myself having success. Okay? And when you do the imagery and visualization, here's your guideline. You make it as realistic as possible, including all the senses. So, say you're in Florida. I live in Ohio. You smell the ocean. You smell the ocean nearby. You smell the fresh cut grass. You feel the dirt. You visualize the sun. Okay, the warmth. Down to all the little images. You get yourself into that spot. Okay, when you use it correctly, it enhances the success if the player visualizes what he wants to accomplish. Okay, so if you can see yourself doing it, you're gonna do it. Believe in the power of it. Okay, the player's attitude and expectation can enhance the effect of imagery. Stay focused yet relaxed attention while using the imagery. Okay, so I mean, you can have distractions, and I mean, a perfect example being at a doubleheader, paying attention during that game, but yet I was still staying focused on what I needed to do when I get out there the next game. It is more important to visualize it in a more frequent, shorter sessions than to bunch them up. So if you try to go through all innings, 9 innings real fast, it's probably not the best idea because you're speeding through it. You want to break it up. It's kind of like studying for a test. Break it up in like little chunks, and you tend to memorize it and remember it better. You learn better. Okay, it's kind of it is the same concept. And then visualize the process, not the results. Okay, the process of each inning. Okay. Confidence. Okay, so you got imagery, your fitness levels, strength, and I'll tell you what, like the bat speed program, like I present in the prime. I mean that did levels for my confidence levels, and then same with the vision as well. So that's big, especially making sure that you are strong in the same moment. Eliminating the negative thought process. Having a game plan. Maintaining great body language. Improve your areas of weakness in your game. So when you got weaknesses in your game, you work on it to try to make it a strength. So when your weaknesses are exposed in the game, you may be able to still take advantage of that. May not be as high as some of the other ones, like, I like to hit the middle away pitch, and I would never miss that pitch. Always driving in the gap. But if you threw me inside, I knew I needed to work on it. But, you know, you work on it, you work on your weakness, it gives yourself a better chance. Surround yourself with confident and positive people. That's huge. I mean, that's even life in general. And then remember a time when you felt confident. Okay? So remember that good game. Go back to it. Remember how it felt. Routine. I'm really going to break that down a lot more here later on. So developing your own routine. So, I mean, I would suggest you pause it right here. Take some of these notes. Take it in. Okay? Routine is super important. Same right here. Pause it. Make sure you're taking some notes right here. I will be covering it in every single section. You know, pretty much every single section. Okay, especially Prime. Prime will give you all the routine stuff that you need to know. And then you got to practice the routine. So if you got nothing better to do at practice, you're bored, you already did all the bunch, you did the base running, you know, all the different little stations. You're waiting your turn, you know, maybe you're pitching live that day or waiting to get in. You're working your routine. Okay, you're working your timing. You're working that deep breath before you step in. Okay, whatever your routine is, you practice it and you imagine it. Being in the zone, I mean, this is very self-explanatory. When you're in the zone, you're in green light, nothing can stop you. Okay, everybody wants to be there. But how do you get there consistently? It's through the mental game. It's through having a consistent routine, a consistent deep breath. Everything. Okay? Hitters, I broke this down. Quality at bats. Go through it. Make sure your individual goal is 60%. Okay? Great quotes. Read them. Go through them. Buy into it. Okay? And then one of the greatest mental game players that I've seen of my time is Michael Brantley. He's never been the player that was stats driven. I care about my teammates and winning, and that comes first. Dr. Smooth was his name. Never seemed like anything rattled him. Didn't matter what count he was in, he was still going to do his job. Lastly, have fun. I mean, it's just a funny little picture of Napoleon Dynamite. Well, Napoleon Dynamite dance with Yan Gomes' head on it. Pretty good defensive catcher. You know, he played for the Indians. Now I think he's still with the Nationals. Okay. So let's wrap that up. Let's wrap up the mental game. The biggest important thing. Oh yeah, let's go back to the red light, green light. So the second you feel you are getting to yellow light or red light and you need to get back to green light, as a pitcher, okay, let's get up. Let's show it. As the pitcher, let's get a little bit more light in here. You don't step on the rubber, so just like if you're hitting, okay, you're not stepping back in the box. Until that line is clear, you're good to go, you're back to green. Okay, here we go. Alright, whatever your routine may be, like I mentioned, the double pumps, all that. Pitching is a little bit different. You can still use the foul pole. You can still use, you know, maybe there's a rock. Okay, you can just easily. What I used to do, when I started feeling myself get to that, because you know I was a highly emotional player, and learning this change says, get me back to green. Okay. Umpire made a bad call, you get the ball back. Okay. I mean, you can easily do one of these. Easily cuss them out, do whatever, and, you know, move on with your day. Well, I mean, not move on with your day, but, I mean, it may eat you up a little bit. But you get the ball back. Okay. I used to just walk around. Okay. I would stand there. my head down. Not because my head was down, but because that helped me to focus. Sometimes I would close my eyes. Okay, focus on that deep breath. And I took a little bit longer. And then, once I felt ready to get back up on that mound and do my job, I stepped back up, I did my job, made the next pitch, boom, okay, strike. Now I got the ball back, now I'm getting back in my rhythm. And then, boom, okay, umpire made a bad call, okay. Sometimes you can just get the ball back, sometimes I'll do this too. The ball back, before I stepped on the rubber, I would just stand there, look down, find something to focus on, clear my head, take that deep breath. Okay, once I'm good to go, once I'm back to green, step back on, let's go. Okay, so that's a little example for you all. So that's just a quick little wrap up. I don't have a whole lot to type up and put into the members area. Everything's right there for you. So go through the video, pause it, and write out your notes. Get those note cards down. If you write anything on your note cards, this is one thing to really write on there. You know, outlining your routine, outlining the mental game, making sure you're getting the mental game down. Okay, so make sure you do all that. This is the same exact video in Prime. I'm telling you that right now, so you know what to expect. It is a reminder to make sure that you are doing all those key points and making sure you're refining them in case you need to refine them. Okay, if you don't like going back, then guess what? It's going to be in the next one for you to be able to review. Okay, and then the next lesson will not unlock for about 5 days. Okay, so make sure you are doing all this. Okay, mental game. If you take anything away from anything that I'm going to be teaching you, it's this right here. This is the most powerful thing to add to your game right here, right now, and you can do it any time of the day.